Bhumi, Bhumi straight. Bhumi straight. Bhumi straight. Bhumi straight. Bhumi. Bhumi यहाँ साइड है. Bhumi आपके लेफ्ट. Bhumi straight. समोर. यहाँ पे मैम. Bhumi just. Bhumi जी लेफ्ट में. Bhumi मैम. Bhumi मैम. अरे इधर लाइट ना दो. या आ रहा हूँ. आ जाता. संजय सर आपके राइट में देखिए. संजय सर यहाँ पे. सर आपको राइट पे. संजय सर यहाँ नहीं देखा यार. सर यहाँ पे सर सामने यहाँ पे. Thank you. How are you?
Friday, okay? For God's sake, you can do better than that. Good evening, everybody. How are you? Are you good? Happy? Excited? Okay, I am Zenia Fernandez, your host, and besides the fact that it's Friday, I am not just happy, but I'm super excited, and I'm very, very thrilled to be standing here to present to you the trailer launch of the much awaited Netflix film, Lust Stories. So can we begin by creating some energy in the room, put our hands together? Come on, you round of applause. Ekta, Karan, Johar, Anurag Kashyap, and Dibakar Banerjee. Lust Stories is all about love, sex, and everything in between. Well, of course, it's going to be available exclusively to 125 million Netflix members spread across 190 countries. That's what, pretty much the entire world? Sounds like it, at least. Yes, so it's going to be available to you and to me, and I can't wait for it. But you know, honestly, I think the best people to talk about Lust Stories and to introduce it to you are the ones who've really made it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's my absolute proud privilege to now welcome on stage the producers of Lust Stories. Please put your hands together and welcome Ronnie Screwwala of RSVP and Ashidua Sara of Flying Unicorn Entertainment. Hello, welcome. Yes, please go ahead. Can I have a mic, please? Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay, so I think before I get the rest of the cast here, I want to inform all of you that we have reserved plenty of time for photographs. Yes? Okay? Yeah, for sure. Can we have a mic, please? Okay. So, Ronnie and Ashi, I want to ask you, what prompted you to take Love Stories? Let's welcome her with a round of applause. We have with us Jaideep, a lover.
अंकित बैठा. ये अंकित. अरे अंकित लेके बैठना है. अरे लेके भाई. Wait for video.
Okay, so like I said earlier, we've actually reserved plenty of time later on for photographs. So my photographer friends, please hold on. I'm going to ask you all to take a seat quickly. We're going to play the trailer once again shortly. Yes, we will be. In the meantime, I think it's time to have a conversation about Lust Stories. Shall we? Yes, so I'm going to request all of you to please take your seats on stage. We will. Okay, so here's the deal. photographer bhaiyo. We have plenty of time. We've reserved time for group photos, director photos, cast photos, solo photos. Sabke liye bahut sara time hai, theek hai? So just relax. Okay, so let's talk. And I think I'm going to start with Bhumi. Okay, so can we have the mic go to Bhumi? Bhumi, I want to ask you, so we saw the trailer once. Such a de-glam avatar of yours,
Yeah,
you know?
that's so new for me, right?
Okay, well, sure. So I want you to tell us two things. One is about playing Sudha, your character, your role, and of course being directed by Zoya.
Well, for starters, good evening, everybody. When I got a call from Zoya, I was literally jumping in my bed because she's been on my wish list for the longest time. Wow. I was so excited, and then she shared the story with me, and I was like, oh my God, I just have to do this. Because I'm constantly looking for newer characters, newer stories, newer emotions to feel, newer boundaries to break, and the story did it all. It speaks a lot about so many biases that we have, and we don't even know they exist because we just look through them and walk on with life. And Zoya in this story, in a very, very sweet and nice way, has sort of highlighted that. And yeah, I hope that whenever you guys watch the film, you love it, because we loved making it.
Fantastic. I want to ask you one more thing. So this is a film which is actually on one of the biggest global streaming platforms right now in the world. Does that fact change the experience of making a film?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, as actors, filmmakers, we want our stories to reach as many people as possible. And Netflix is such a big platform. I am a die-hard fan. I've been a watcher of so many of their shows for a very long time. And I'm glad that we are releasing it on Netflix, because I think people on the internet are braver, they are more accepting, they're looking for newer stories, and you know, there's a lot more freedom. So that's good.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to move to Jaideep quickly. जयदीप आपसे मुझे ये पूछना है कि of course हम सभी जानते हैं you've been doing theatre and films for a very, very long time, but here you are in a film where you are with popular actors like Sanjay Kapoor and Manisha Koirala, of course. What was your experience of making love stories?
Amazing. जहाँ तक मुझे याद है, जब दिवाकर सर ने मुझे वो कहानी सुनाई थी, तो मुझे उस कहानी के कैरेक्टर से प्यार हुआ, पहली बात.
Stalwarts of Indian cinema, we have Karan, Johar, Zoya Akhtar and Dibakar Banerjee.
And just to clarify, Anurag Kashyap is in Los Angeles and not here with us.
Yes, he's going to make it director with us, unfortunately. We miss him.
I'll move around. Everyone's taking
We're kind of playing musical chairs right now, but...
This is the theme for the next movie after. Musical chairs, maybe the third one, after Love and Lust.
Fantastic. Okay, so now that we have the directors themselves, let's hear it from them. I think starting with Zoya. Zoya, I don't know if you can really tell us the story, but if you could just give us a quick brief, a glimpse into your story.
My story is about love and lust, but it's in the context of class. And class in India, and what the way we perceive it, and what that means to us when we are attracted to people. So that's what my story is about.
Okay, that's fantastic. Karan, what about you? We want to hear from you what your story is about. You look like you don't want to really share that with us
Well,
today.
I'm trying to actually find the right words to describe without getting myself into any trouble.
Okay.
Because you know that the film, basically, we all know it's called Lust Stories, so of course the film is about love and lust. And I think excitingly, we all decided on this theme together and thought that all the directors would have an individual interpretation of love and lust. So I think invariably when you're given the choice of love and lust, most sensible people will choose lust. Only because it's infinitely more exciting than love is. It's the more popular four-letter word to live a life by, and I think that's what we all chose in a certain sense of the word. But there is embedded love in that lust, and my film is about seeking pleasure, and it's also about the fact that it's just not a man's right to pleasure, it's also a woman's right to pleasure.
Because they are so amazing in terms of what they show, what they conceal, and unki life ki jo chote chote utar chadhav hain, they were so amazing, and always been fan to his stories and his storytelling, and the relationship I have in the film with Sanjay sir, it's amazing because we have seen this, we have talked about these relationships in literature and everything. But on screen, it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing.
I cannot wait. Sanjay sir, I have a question for you. So of course, we've seen you as a lead in popular Bollywood commercial cinema, and here you are part of an anthology film. What's the journey been like?
Good evening, everyone. For me, first of all, I'd like to tell you that when I got a call from Dibakar that he wants me to be part of the film, I felt now I've become a complete actor. A director like Dibakar has asked me to be part of his film. So for me, this journey, it couldn't have been better. They say, you are part of big commercial successes and you've been part of a lot of commercial films and this and that. But
yes,
to work in a film where this kind of workshop Dibakar made us do, it was a complete honor to be part of this film. And I'm so glad it's releasing on Netflix, because for me, I feel the world will see this film now. It's releasing on the 15th of June
Yes.
in 190 countries. For me, I feel this is a big, big platform for all of us, and especially for me. So for me, it's a big honor.
Your face is just glowing like you're blessed right now, and that's exactly how you're feeling, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I can see
to be
that.
part of this esteemed company, for me, that's a big honor. That's why I'm glowing.
Fantastic. Keep that glow on. Okay, so now is the time that my friends from the media, you get to ask your questions. Do raise your hand. Do identify yourself. And of course, we're here to talk about the Netflix film Lust Stories. So let's keep your questions specific and short. And tell us who you're directing it to. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Karan, Zoya, and Dibakar. Would like to ask you, does it give you more freedom, this platform, to tell your stories the way you want to, as compared to, and especially a subject like, Lust Stories?
Well, yes, on a level it does. Yes, on a level it does. But having said that, there's nothing in this film that you haven't seen, in a sense, in terms of freedom-wise. So, yeah.
No, I definitely, I believe that the film is definitely pushing some boundaries, but I would be happy to do the same even in film. And just because it's called love stories, it doesn't mean that it's, it's got like overt amount of sex scenes, or, it's got something that is out there and in your face. No, they're very emotional stories, and they're deep stories, and lust is a deep emotion, pun not intended. And it is something that we have all tackled with in our own way, in our own syntax. And of course, we've seen much more, even in mainstream cinema, more explicit moments, more out there moments than perhaps you may even find in lust stories. But you will find a beating heart within that lust, and I think that's the USP of all our narratives.
So I really don't, I think all film directors manage to find their own freedom within the system that they operate in. So this is not really about the freedom of the directors. I feel this is about the freedom of the audience. You see, what happens is that, what is freedom? Freedom is what? Choice, right? Agar choice nahi hai, to freedom is a theoretical discussion. So this is a choice, and that is the freedom that the audience has, so that once in a while, or every once in a while, if you want an experience which you want to enjoy on your own, very intimate, with yourself, with a few people, this is that choice. And as long as you have that choice, this is freedom. So this is good. This should be the way things are.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, let's have the next question from the gentleman there.
Hello.
To your left.
Hi, Karan. How are you doing today? This is Sandeep from ANI.
Your left.
All right. Hi, Karan. My question to you is that, in India, इस देश में पद्मावत जैसे फिल्मों के ऊपर बैन लग जाता है, इस देश में अडल्ट सीन्स के ऊपर बैन लग जाता है। इसके पहले उड़ता पंजाब या ऐसे कई सारे फिल्में आई हैं जिस पे काफ़ी बवाल होता है। आपको लगता है क्या नेटफ्लिक्स एक ऐसा माध्यम है जिस पर आप अपनी आवाज़ जो है या जो चीज़ आप दिखाना चाहते हैं वो खुल करके दिखा सकते हैं?
देखिए, ये आई थिंक कहना बिल्कुल गलत होगा कि क्योंकि हम नेटफ्लिक्स पे जा रहे हैं तो हमें खुली छूट है और इसीलिए हम नेटफ्लिक्स पे अपनी फिल्म दिखा रहे हैं। हम इसीलिए दिखा रहे हैं क्योंकि हम जानते हैं कि नेटफ्लिक्स की जो रीच है वो दुनिया भर में है और बहुत सारे ऐसे देश हैं, जैसे संजय ने अभी कहा कि 190 कंट्रीज स्ट्रीम नेटफ्लिक्स और हमारा ऑडियंस बेस इतना ज़्यादा बड़ा है। तो हम निर्देशक हैं, हम कहानियाँ बनाते हैं और बताते हैं, तो हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है कि बहुत सारे लोग ये फिल्म देखेंगे। अभी इसके लिए हमने यहाँ ये नेटफ्लिक्स नहीं चुना है क्योंकि हम जानते हैं कि इसमें कुछ ऐसी सीक्वेंसेस या सीन्स होंगे जो बैन हो जाएंगे या ऐसा कोई सेक्स नहीं। जैसे मैं कह रहा था कि हेट स्टोरीज में ज़्यादा सेक्स है, लव स्टोरीज में कम है। तो हमारा ऐसा नहीं है कि हम सेक्स के लिए या कुछ भी हो रहा है इस फिल्म में इसलिए हमने नेटफ्लिक्स एक बहुत ही एम्पावर्ड प्लेटफॉर्म है, एक बहुत ही बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म है, दुनिया भर में मशहूर प्लेटफॉर्म है और इस प्लेटफॉर्म में हमारे फिल्मों को दर्शाना एक अलग प्लेटफॉर्म बन जाता है हमारे लिए, एक जगह हम बन जाती है। जैसे मैं टेलीविजन कर चुका हूँ, कुछ लोग यहाँ इस मंच पे स्टेज कर चुके हैं, अभी हम नेटफ्लिक्स कर रहे हैं, हम अपनी वर्सेटैलिटी दिखा रहे हैं। सेंसरशिप कैसी है, क्यों है, वो हम उस गली के अंदर ना घुसना चाहते हैं ना घुसने वाले हैं। भैया हमें अपने हाल पे छोड़ दो।
रोनी सर, एक सवाल आपसे भी है। सर सवाल ये है कि नेटफ्लिक्स इंडिया में उतना ज़्यादा एक्सपोजर नहीं है बिकॉज देयर इज़ रूरल इंडिया, देयर आर पीपल जिनके पास मोबाइल तक नहीं है, अभी भी कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं। तो आपको क्या लगता है, क्या नेटफ्लिक्स का जो माध्यम है वो इंडिया में अच्छा करेगा या कैसा होगा बिजनेस आपके लिहाज से?
See, I think it's a platform which is very global. आप जो देख रहे हैं यहाँ, the main point is we are working very hard. We've been trying for 100 years to do crossover cinema. I think for the first time, many people will have an opportunity to actually even experiment and do crossover cinema because it's very difficult to do that. Because you've got an audience that you can cater to around the world, not just Indians and South Asians, but everywhere else. A digital platform, rural में, it's going to take its time. But if you look at it, जो यहाँ cinema की footprint भी होगी, today in our cinemas, the problem is 60% of our box office comes from Bombay and Delhi. So if you take that into perspective, and 10 years back that's been the case, and now it's become 60%, it might become 50%. So you've got two territories, two urban territories, that is constituting of the box office. So actually the digital platform has more scope to spread out than even cinema can over a period of time. And I think this is all about it being jointly done, not one versus the other, ever.
Okay, fantastic. We're going to take the next question from this gentleman here to our right.
Karan here.
Yes, go ahead, please.
He's talking.
Yes.
Karan, straight. Karan, will you say that lust stories will have the power and lust to overpower Salman Khan's Race 3 on June 15th?
I mean, you're serious. Was that like a serious question, sir? I really need to know that.
What's your
if
response?
it's a funny question, you deserve the laughter that surrounds you. Because otherwise it's just of course not. Salman Khan is on a different platform. He is the big master of mainstream cinema. Race is going to be a humongous film. It's a franchise film. It's a totally different film with a totally different syntax. We're not competing, fighting. हमें वो औकात ही नहीं है to fight with Salman Khan or Race. We are actually very happy for filmmakers who've made a tiny little film, which we're very gratified to Netflix for, who have accepted our film with open arms. And we're not competing with anyone. We don't have the right to compete with the magnitude of Salman Khan. I mean, Race is like, I'll probably be going to see Race on the 15th and not Love Stories.
Okay, we're going to take, on that note, we're going to take one last question from you, sir. Go for it, quickly.
Hi, Karan and Zoya. Ravi from ABP News. अगर हिंदी सिनेमा की बात की जाए तो हमने देखा है कि लव को जितना ग्लोरीफाई किया जाता है हिंदी सिनेमा में, ओवर ग्लोरीफाई किया जाता है. अगर कंपैरेटिवली वर्ल्ड सिनेमा की बात करें, वर्ल्ड सिनेमा में अगर हॉलीवुड की बात करें, फ्रेंच सिनेमा, किसी भी सिनेमा की बात करें तो लस्ट को भी बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सप्लोर किया गया है. लेकिन हिंदी सिनेमा में ऐसा कम देखने को मिलता है। हालांकि हाल ही में कुछ फिल्में आई हैं जिसमें लस्ट को भी काफ़ी एक्सप्लोर किया गया है। तो आप लोगों की क्या राय है कि इस बारे में कि लस्ट पर ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं जाता राइटर्स का, या हमारी सोसाइटी इतनी रिग्रेसिव है कि लव को ग्लोरीफाई करती है और लस्ट पे ध्यान नहीं देती?
I think different cultures go to the cinema for different reasons. One of the biggest reasons our audience goes to the cinema is escapism, fantasy, aspiration, and to hope for something they don't have. Love is something that's still taboo in our culture, sadly. We don't have that many love marriages. We don't have that, we are not allowed to date. We are not, your parents still decide who you should spend your life with. So the ultimate fantasy is to see a boy, fall in love, and end up happily with him no matter what the opposition. So love stories will always be big in our culture till the culture changes. That's not going to change. And in terms of lust, I think people have tried to depict it, and some people have depicted it beautifully, and some people are just crass. And that's where you see the depth and class of a filmmaker. I don't think lust has not been approached. It has been. I think people are now getting a little... they're being more vocal about it. They're just being more expressive about it. But it's been there always. It's always been in our films. It's just been elegant. So you haven't noticed it.
Karan, what's your take?
मैं बिल्कुल सहमत हूँ एक्चुअली जोया से कि हम ऐसी भावना है, लस्ट ऐसी एक भावना है जिसे हम बुरी नज़र से देखते हैं, क्योंकि उसका इस्तेमाल बहुत बुरी तरह किया गया है बड़े पर्दे पे और बहुत ऐसे दूसरे प्लेटफॉर्म से बुरी तरह, विदाउट एनी सेंसिटिविटी। और ऐसी इनसेंसिटिविटी कभी कभी उसके बहुत ही रेपरकशंस हो सकते हैं हमारे देश में, हमारे समाज में, उसका असर बहुत बुरा होता है। लेकिन
संजय सर बेंटो सेंटर चलो अरे ये मैडम Johan straight Johan center अभी अंकल का
थैंक यू अनावत साहब
सेंटर
अनावत साहब है ना
साहब
थैंक यू
जय सर
थोड़ा सा सर
थोड़ा लेफ्ट में आइए थोड़ा परफेक्ट
ये
यस ये सेंटर यो अरे oh yeah nice one no center yo yeah सर इधर देखो